Shabbat Shalom. And thank you all so much for being here tonight. Tonight we have a very special Shabbat, as it is our annual Inclusion Shabbat. And we have a wonderful guest speaker here with us tonight. And to introduce our guest speaker, I would like to introduce and call up our incredible head of our Inclusion Committee, Mr. Richard Kammerman.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Our speaker this evening is Katie Scott, President of Care Partners Texas. As many of you know, Care Partners is and has been for the past 11 years the professional consultant to our Gathering Place program. But before I introduce Katie, I would like to recognize the following people from Care Partners who are here this evening. Keith Crane, the incoming chair of the Board of Directors of Care Partners. Andrea Williams, Vice President of Programming, and Elisa Dreghorn, Vice President of Development. Ms. Scott, please come forward. I want everybody to know that Ms. Scott has been president of Care Partners for nearly 2 years. She has a Master's of Public Health from UTMB and has many years of experience as an executive managing and directing nonprofits. Her list of positions and experience is long and impressive. As you will learn in a few moments, she is an outstanding speaker with a timely message. So, Katie Scott, we welcome you.
Thank you, Richard. Well, I didn't know I was an executive director for so long, but we'll take it. Thanks, Richard. So as you said, I'm Katie Scott. I'm president of Care Partners, and I really thank each and every one of you for allowing us to be here, and thank you for partnering with us for so long. So I wanted to start off by kind of talking about a little bit of a story. And it's a little bit about what happens when people ask me, why do you do the work that you do? People don't think that dementia is glamorous. And I have a simple answer. I saw a problem that needed a solution, and I wanted to be part of that solution. So as a young professional, some of you in here have known me as that young professional, I got a job starting off at a retirement community. And as someone who didn't really get the opportunity to know my grandparents or get to interface with older adults regularly, it was a learning experience for me, but one I fell in love with. And as I started and continued in my work, I saw more and more exposure to dementia, and I noticed how challenging this condition was. And so first, it's important to note there are over 70 different causes of dementia, and no one case is the same. There are commonalities, however. You see memory loss a lot. You see loss of the ability to make decisions and executive function. You see challenges with completing complex tasks. These symptoms alone can be quite distressing. Imagine you're continuously forgetting important information, like your doctor's appointments or whether or not you took your medication. Imagine struggling with tasks that used to be second nature, like going to the grocery store, finding the bananas in the grocery store, or even just paying your bills. Now imagine that your friends no longer wanted to be near you because of these symptoms. That's what I witnessed. Now, we may never know exactly why these friends became alienating those that were developing dementia. Perhaps they were fearful that they would catch it. Perhaps they got fed up of repeating themselves and answering questions over and over again. But perhaps, and what I think is the true reason, was that they simply didn't know what to do, so they avoided this situation altogether. Over time, I watched people experiencing dementia become defined by their diagnosis instead of seen as who they were. And what I observed was only a drop in the bucket. In Texas alone, there are over 400,000 individuals living with dementia. And as our community ages, that number is going to grow, and the need for support for these individuals is going to grow exponentially. And ultimately, it's the family that ends up as the primary source of care for people with dementia. Over 80% of people with dementia are cared for in their home, and the majority of that work is done by family. According to the Alzheimer's Association, nearly 1.1 million family caregivers in Texas are stepping up to assist these individuals, providing over 1.8 billion hours of care, unpaid. Family members end up taking on tasks and jobs that they were never trained to do and never prepared for. So, okay, cooking and cleaning, I can handle that. But what about giving someone their medication, helping someone bathe, taking someone to the restroom, making really complex healthcare decisions? We never give families training manuals for this. And these added duties come with a price tag. 88% of care for people with dementia is paid for out of pocket by the family. So these families are experiencing financial burden. They're feeling financial stressors. In addition, they are focused so much on that person with dementia that they love and care for that they forget to care for themselves. Often you'll see declines in physical health, depression, and anxiety. And right now, there's still no cure for Alzheimer's disease, one of the primary causes of dementia. There's no way to prevent it, and frankly, the newest treatment options are simply unattainable. This problem is not going away anytime soon. However, there is hope. There are people mobilizing to find better ways to care for families affected by dementia while we wait for science to catch up. When communities come together, we can create spaces of compassion, spaces of kindness and support for families of those with dementia. And that's exactly what Care Partners is all about. We want to provide education, resources, and support to older adults, including those with dementia, and their family caregivers, so we can create compassionate communities of care across the greater Houston area. Our goal is to meet families wherever they are as they're navigating the aging journey and provide them with the right resources at the right time. So how do we do this? We host education programs across the region to ensure families have the information they need to continue caring for their loved one. Whether it's a short workshop, an all-day conference, whether it's virtual or in person, we want to make sure our families get the information they need in ways that they can handle, ways that they can process. And we also know that as humans, we all need a tribe. We need a group of people we can turn to for emotional support and guidance through the hardest times in our lives. For Care Partners, this looks like support groups. We offer spaces called Common Ground, both in person and virtually, for families, caregivers to share their current needs and get help from the best resource around, those people that are living it too. Our licensed social worker will provide one-on-one consultation when families need more detailed action planning and coaching and guidance from a trained professional. But we also know that sometimes families, the whole family, is affected by dementia and they need hands-on help. The person with dementia needs to feel heard and seen, and the family simply needs a break. Through our second family program, volunteers visit older adults in the home, including those with dementia, and provide companionship and help around the house. This provides a way for these often isolated older adults to develop deep and meaningful connections with others. We also create connection through our group programs, the Gathering Place, which you all kindly host one of, and the Day Center. Both programs offer opportunities for people with dementia to have physical, mental, and social stimulation while caregivers get some breathing room to recharge their batteries. The Gathering Places are volunteer-led programs offered at over 40 sites across Greater Houston. These half-day programs are at no cost to families and provide care to the families in the communities that they live in. Our Dementia Day Center, which is right down the road, was one of the first of its kind in Texas and is a licensed center that provides a safe and nurturing environment for those with dementia. The Day Center supplements all the volunteer services we do at Care Partners by providing more consistent support for people that have additional, more complex needs. But overall, across all of the programs, we utilize 14 staff and over 1,500 volunteers to bring support, resources, and education to over 2,500 individuals each year. And we cannot, we do not, and we will not do this work alone. All of this is made possible by our partnerships with healthcare organizations, other nonprofits like the Alzheimer's Association, and faith communities like Beth Yeshurun. And 11 years ago, Beth Yeshurun, a place of worship committed to being a place of inclusion, partnered with Care Partners to create a gathering place right here within these walls. Built from the concept that everyone is welcome, Beth Yeshurun's gathering place creates a space where individuals with dementia are in community with people who look past the label of their disease. You, here, create a space where families feel like they're no longer alone. I want to take this moment to thank all of you here that made this possible, the congregation leadership, the staff, and especially all of the volunteers who have given of their time and energy, some of which for almost 11 years straight. That is absolutely amazing. It is you who saw a problem and stepped up to be part of a solution. It is you that gave families affected by dementia hope. And so I look at all of you here today and ask, how can you be part of the solution? How can you help families affected by dementia? How can you step up to create a compassionate community of care for these families? If you don't have any ideas, I have a few. So first, if you see a family struggling, connect them to a resource. Connect them to Care Partners. Connect them to Beth Yeshurun. Connect them to the Alzheimer's Association. There are resources out there, and no family member should go this alone. Also, consider volunteering. Your gift of time and energy can mean the world to these families. You're offering families a break. You're letting someone who's often forgotten be seen. So, right here, you can volunteer. I think it's the third Thursday. Did I get that right, Richard? Third Thursday of every month. Come to our gathering. Come down the road to the Dementia Day Center. Volunteer at one of our community programs, or find another way, another organization that you can give of your time. Because your gift of time can bring hope to families. Together, we can all be part of a solution. Together, we can ensure individuals with dementia and their families feel seen and supported. Together, we can truly make the difference in the lives of people with dementia and their families across Greater Houston and beyond. Thank you.
Don't go yet. Don't go yet. On behalf of Congregation Beth Yeshurun and our Inclusion Committee, we want to present you with this certificate of appreciation for sharing your thoughts with us on Jewish Disability Awareness and Inclusion Month and raising the awareness of inclusion for everybody. I also want to recognize, and I'm sorry I forgot this in the beginning, but I want to recognize my sister, Lily Hurwitz, who is co-chair along with Hetty Spiegel. I don't think Hetty has been available, and Sheila Franklin of our Gathering Place program. We meet on the fourth Thursday of every month.
Got it wrong, fourth.
From 10 o'clock to 1:30. It's a free program with activities, a free kosher lunch, and a lot of fun. So I want to make sure everybody knows about our Gathering Place. Again, Katie, thank you very, very much.
So as many of you know, this month is Jewish Disability and Inclusion Month. It's an opportunity for congregations and Jewish organizations across North America to make sure that we're doing more and more every single year to include all people in our community. Tonight at Beth Yeshurun, we've been very honored to hear from Katie and your very extraordinary organization. And what an honor it is for us at Beth Yeshurun every month to host you and all those who need in this particular issue. What an honor it is for us. And I want to thank Richard and Lily and all your volunteers and members of your committee that make Gathering Place happen and other things that we do here at Beth Yeshurun to help those who want to be included. It is a mitzvah. It is what congregations should do. And we're always striving to do more. And thank you to Richard and all the members of his committee and Rabbi Fort, my colleague, who often helps lead that committee and helps guide them from her own rabbinic wisdom. To thank all of them, to help all of us include more of those fellow Jews who want to be included here at Beth Yeshurun. So I encourage all of us to get involved, to do more, and to help us strive and accomplish even more goals in the years ahead. So again, Katie, it's been an honor to have you here at Beth Yeshurun, and we look forward to having you and all of your partners here for many, many years to come. And again, thank you to Richard and Lily and all the members of our Inclusion Committee. Let's give them another big round of applause.